The night was quiet, except for the hoots of owls and the rustling leaf in the thick forest of Ogede. Under the faint light of the moon, a sad woman walked through the dense forest. She held a crying baby close to her chest, tears rolling down her face.
"Forgive me, my son,"
she said softly, crying.
"Eric, I can't take this anymore. I can't take care of you anymore. The world is harsh to children like you, and I'm helpless."
With shaking hands, she placed the baby on a pile of leaves under a big iroko tree. As the baby's cry filled the night, she ran away, not looking back. When morning came, the forest came alive with the sound of birds and monkeys. A tall, strong man walked towards the iroko tree. His name was Ikemba, a warrior banished from his land, who now lived in the forest. Ikemba was known for his strength in battle and the scars on his face that told many stories. People feared and respected him.
"What is this?"
Ikemba said, his voice deep like thunder. He knelt and picked up the crying baby. The baby's big gross eye looked at him.
"Who would leave a child like this
"Here," he said out loud. The baby stopped crying as Ikemba held him.
"You will live, little one. I will raise you as my own. Your name will be called Efosa."
Ikemba raised Efosa in the forest, teaching him how to survive and fight. Efosa grew strong, with broad shoulder and sharp instincts. He could climb the tallest trees, run fast, and wrestle crocodiles in the river. One day, Ikemba pointed at a lion in the bush.
"Efosa,
He said firmly,
this is your test. Bring me its head."
Efosa grabbed his spear tightly and walked towards the lion. He threw his spear at the lion, but missed. Of course, he intentionally wanted to get the lion's attention. The lion's golden eyes stared at him, and it roared loudly. With a roar, it charged at him. Efosa dodged and moved quickly. With a terrible speed, the lion tried to use its claws on Efosa, but he wrapped and overpowered it, turning it around and placing his hands on its mouth and ran the lion in two. The fight was tough, but Efosa prevailed. The lion fell, and Efosa stood over it, breathing heavily.
"Well done," Ikemba said.
Looking impressed, "You are ready." As the year passed, Efosa became known for his bravery. He hunted bears, fought wild boars, and kept the forest safe. Efosa has always wondered what life looked like beyond the forest. He wished he could go beyond, but he always remembered the warning given to him by Ikemba, whom he called father. One day, he was on a mountain, viewing the distant edge of the forest. Ikemba came from behind and rested his hands on his shoulder.
"Never go beyond the border of the wild,"
Ikemba said with a furious look.
"The hearts possessed by animals beyond the wild are worse than those of beasts."
Cuddling Efosa's shoulder.
"They may look like us, but their heart is filled with poison,"
he said, walking away and leaving Efosa, who was lost in his thoughts. One day, Efosa tracked a deer beyond the wild. He walked too far and came to a clearing. In front of him was Esusu, a small village full of life. As he got closer, he heard shouting. A group of men with weapons were beating the villager. The men wore the Embard of Amma, a kingdom known for its cruelty and wickedness.
Please, leave us alone.
An old man begged, raising his hand. The leader laughed.
You are nothing but slave to Amma.
They kicked the old man on his buttocks, who fell down on his stomach, gasping for air. Efosa, filled with anger, he stepped forward.
Stop this!
He shouted. The leader laughed. Who are you to stop us, bushman? As Efosa was looking dirty, smelling, with pants made of leaves. Without speaking, Efosa got furious and attacked. He disarmed the first man and threw him aside. The other, who were praising their man, suddenly got surprised but attacked Efosa. Efosa fought them like a storm. His fists and strength took down 20 men in a minute. The villagers stared in shock and wonder as the attacker ran away, leaving their dead behind.
Who is this man?
They whispered. The story of Efosa's bravery reached the palace. King Opase of Esusu called for him.
You are a great warrior.
The king said.
What is your name?
Efosa, he said, bowing slightly as he did before he came back.
Efosa,
the king said,
you have done what no man in Esusu could do. I make you the chief guard of my family.
In the royal family was Ada, the king's daughter. She was very beautiful, with eyes that sparkled and a sweet laugh. She often watched Efosa train and admired him more every day. Meanwhile, King Ojo of Amma heard about Efosa's rebellion. He was furious.
How dare they fight back?
He shouted.
Prepare the army. Esusu will fall.
The drum of war sounded, and Esusu got ready for battle. Efosa stood at the front, his eyes full of determination. The villagers saw him as their hope. But what will happen to Efosa when he faces an entire army of 5,000 men? Will his strength sustain him? What will become of Ikemba as he goes in search looking for his lost son? Will their paths cut across each other? Will Efosa emerge victorious in his battle of 5,000 men? Watch out for part 2 as the story of Efosa unfolds.
Office.